Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on the western plains where it meets the Rocky Mountains, the beautiful city of Colorado Springs is home to a lot of things, including Pikes Peak, America's Mountain. Of course, you have the United States Olympic Committee, and of course, the North American Aerospace Command Defense, also known as NORAD, where this time of year, they are tracking Santa Claus, an extremely exciting thing that goes on out there in the Pikes Peak region. We're talking with Lieutenant Richard Parker right now, and Lieutenant, this is a very, very exciting time for all the volunteers. Let's talk about them first. This takes an army of volunteers to keep going out there.
Absolutely. Tomorrow when we open our call center at 6 a.m. Eastern, we're going to start off working about 10 shifts, about 2 hours each. In total, we'll have about 1,500 volunteers coming into our call center throughout the day on the 24th. And also, prior to that, we've had a lot of support from our corporate sponsors and just volunteers here in the Colorado Springs area to help us out.
And this all started with a mistake several years ago. Let's give the kind of brief synopsis of what happened. There was a newspaper article that had the wrong number to call Santa, and then lo and behold, this tradition has gone on for decades now.
Well, sure. Back in 1955, when NORAD was known as CONAD, which was Continental Air Defense Command, a department store here in Colorado Springs ran an advertisement in the local paper, and there was a phone number in there for children to call in and talk to Santa Claus. Well, that number happened to be the hotline to the CONAD commander, and he picked the phone up and was surprised to hear a small child's voice on the phone asking, "Is this Santa?" And he was kind enough to say yes, it was, and asked to speak to the young child's mother, and found out that there had been an ad that had misprinted the number, and so he'd put someone on the phone to answer those calls, and it's kind of been a tradition ever since.
And I love the tradition. Some of the best things start with mistakes like that, and it's something like we just talked about with the volunteers. The community has really embraced. You said 1,500 volunteers are taking phone calls, and I want to be very clear about this. They're not just getting phone calls from the Pikes Peak region. They're not getting phone calls from just the United States. This is around the world. You have children calling in. That's got to be so exciting for everyone answering the phones out there.
Well, that's correct. I mean, our volunteers are very enthusiastic about it. Last year, we took more than 137,000 phone calls from around the world. In addition to that, we took almost 5,000 emails as well. So you don't even necessarily have to call in. You can email and find out where Santa is on Christmas Eve.
And so if children here in Chattanooga, in the Chattanooga area, down North Georgia all the way up to Cleveland and almost up to Nashville there over Mont Eagle Mountain, if they want to participate, what is the best way to get a hold of you guys in any way via the telephone, the internet, however they can?
Well, there are a number of ways that children and everyone who loves Santa can track him tomorrow when he makes his journey. Of course, we have our website, which is at www.noradsanta.org. They can call our center here in Colorado Springs at 1-877-HI, H-I, NORAD, N-O-R-A-D. But they can also access Santa's whereabouts on Amazon Alexa. We had over 1.5 million times that was used last year. Also, Twitter and Facebook will give you updates. And if they're driving around, they have OnStar in the car. They can press the blue button and find out where Santa is with their OnStar system.
And I believe when the OnStar button is used, they're actually giving a donation away as well. So it's very charitable for everyone to participate.
Absolutely. The whole program itself is a very charitable operation. We've got Toys for Tots involved. And of course, we couldn't do this without the generosity of our corporate sponsors, such as Amazon, Microsoft, and so many others. I don't have time to name them all here.
Yeah, again, it does take an army to keep this going, and we couldn't be happier that you are continuing the tradition. To all the volunteers out in the Pikes Peak region, just an outstanding job to keep this thing going. Anything else you'd like to say, Lieutenant Richard Parker, before we sign off here from Chattanooga?
No, just happy holidays to everybody back in Chattanooga, especially all my friends and family in the area. And please follow us at our website and give us a call tomorrow to find out where Santa is.
All right, Lieutenant Richard Parker, thank you very much. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And Good luck with the millions of children that you'll be talking to.
Thanks very much. Good to speak with you today.